My name is M. Subramaniam. I'm a psychologist. I like to give my views on the state of affairs in Singapore at the present. Sir, Madam, first and foremost, I like to mention about the foreign workers in Singapore. I like to make it clear that I'm not against foreign workers coming to Singapore, but I know that they come here to contribute to our economy. But we need to know the dynamics of having these people here in our country. First and foremost, now these people come from different countries, with different cultures, with different backgrounds, with different habits and so on. But we have two groups here, the in group and the out group. The in group here, that the locals, the Singaporeans, now they feel very much disturbed and troubled having those people coming here, the out groups coming here. When they come here, they feel that, the in-group feels that there is a stiff competition for scarce resources. When I say scarce resources, now we have things like housing, education, jobs, and healthcare. Now these are scarce resources we have for the in-groups. So when the in-groups feel the out-groups are coming here, they feel threatened. See? And they feel that they may lose and they have to compete with the out-groups. So if this goes on, it's going to create a lot of unhappiness. But I know that this can't be solved in a day or two. We can't just pluck from the tree and give it to the people. It takes time. Over time, we can solve it. But my concern is to let the government know how people feel at the ground. See? Now, some people suffer in silence. They can't express their sentiments openly. But I go around, I can see this. You can see it in the bus, you can see it in the trains, you can see it in the hospitals. And wherever you go, where there are people, you can see it. But this takes time for the government to solve. And this is my concern, that the government do something about this and take action so that people will feel free that the government is doing something constructive for them. With that, I thank you, sir and madam.
Yes, maybe I address the point that Mr. Subramanian raised first. And indeed, the points that you raised about how to make sure that we attend to the needs of Singaporeans are things which government is very determined to do. So, I mean, for transportation, for example, over the next few years, we're going to double the length of the MRT lines that are available. So we're going to make a very, very major investment, about $60 billion, into our MRT network, which will double the lines available. So you can see the downtown line is being built now, but I hope that also the residents who are living along the downtown line will appreciate that the line, it's not possible for LTA to just snap its fingers and then the line miraculously appears tomorrow, complete and built, with no noise, no dust, and no excavation. This is again one of the things which is important, that if you want an MRT line, you want development and progress, I mean, there has to be a certain amount of time, and there also has to be a certain amount of sacrifice, if you like. So if you see the people who are living along the Circle Line, along Farrer Road, Farrer Road has been a construction site for the last, I don't know how many years, 5 or 6 years. But now the stations are finished and people are enjoying Farrer Road, the Circle Line that's coming through Farrer Market and so on. And it's wonderful. So similarly, for the downtown line and those living along the downtown line, I hope that their patience over the next few years will bring wonderful fruits for them when the downtown line is finished. We're also building more hospitals. The Khoo Teck Puat Hospital is a beautiful place. I went to visit. The staff are wonderful, and it's a lovely hospital. And then the hospital in Jurong, the Ng Teng Fong Hospital, the planning and construction has commenced. And for my own residents in Sengkang, they're all looking forward to the next hospital that will be built there. So these are some of the things that we're doing. For education particularly, an area in which many Singaporeans have angst over, we've actually been expanding education opportunities for Singaporeans. In 1980, only 5% of a cohort went to university. 5%. And another 8% went to Polytechnic. But by about 2000, you're already talking about 20% going to university and 40%, nearly 40% going to Polytechnic. So it was something like a 4 times increase in cohort participation rate, a 4 times increase in opportunity over a space of about 20 years. It's not easy to build a new educational institution. I don't know whether there are any students from SMU here this evening, are there? No. But, I mean, SMU students now enjoy a wonderful university in the downtown, fantastic facilities, and the university is only 10 years old. Now you show me one other university in any other country in the world which in 10 years has been built up from scratch, from nothing, to where it is today and has such a high reputation in the world. It's quite amazing. 10 years. We've got many students here from ITE College East. Wonderful place. It's one of my favorite places to go to. I really love the place. The only thing is now ITE College West is up and giving you some competition. That's also a beautiful place. But, you know, when did we start planning on this? We started this with Dr. Teng Soon in the mid-90s when we started to rebuild the whole technical education system, increase the polys, and also build this whole tier of ITEs. And then eventually, about 1997, 2000, we decided to build these new big ITE colleges. It's a huge investment. I would say that if anybody asks me which part of the education system I'm proudest of in Singapore, it's the ITEs. It provides, it's worth applause, because it provides our students tremendous opportunities. Youth unemployment in Singapore is not an issue, not a problem. It's a major problem in many developed countries of the world. So we will continue to invest in transport, in education, in housing, but particularly in education for the future. One of the things that PM said is that we'll be continuing to increase the number of university places, entry places. So we are going to increase, today it's 12,000 places each year. That means 12,000 students enter university each year, Singapore students. 2000 was 9,000 students. In the next few years, next 2 years, we'll increase to 14,000 a year. And we'll keep on increasing. And what we want to do is to create an education system which is porous and in which people who have the ability, the energy, the aptitude can keep on improving themselves. Whether they go to ITE, whether they go to poly, whether they go to university, whether they learn how to be a good chef or whatever it is, they can continue to improve themselves. So this is what we want to do to make sure we look after Singaporeans.